What is up guys, it's Modern Warfare here and welcome back to another video. So in this video I wanted to do something a little bit different, which is to cover 5 things you may not have known about your JTAG or RGH. Just 5 little features that weren't really big enough for me to put into one video, give them like one dedicated video on each topic because they are quite small. But still, it's something that I think I should cover, so I'm just covering it in this kind of mashup of these different features. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Okay, so number 1, did you know that you can disable your plugins by turning on the console and then pressing the eject button immediately afterwards? This is something a lot of people know already, a lot of people don't seem to know this already, and it can be incredibly useful if you have a bad plugin, a bad dash launch plugin added. Maybe it's a plugin, an old stealth server plugin that doesn't work on the new dash, so it just hangs on the Xbox logo, or whatever plugin you have, a mod menu plugin that's corrupted. Any kind of plugin in dash launch that causes the console to freeze on the Xbox logo, you can fix it just by doing this, just by turning the console on and then pressing the eject button straight afterwards. It doesn't always work first time. I've had it where I've had to do it 2 or 3 times to get it to work, but it does work eventually and it can be incredibly useful. Another thing you can use it for is if you have a stealth server plugin on there all the time and maybe you just want to boot into the console without connecting to Xbox Live, so you can go on Aurora or Freestyle Dash or XCX menu or something like that, then you can do this to disable the stealth server plugin. As you can see from dash launch, I booted up, I have the Ninja plugin added. You'll see it in dash launch that I have the Ninja plugin added, but you saw earlier on that I didn't actually have the Ninja Xbox Live Ninja's guide menu, which shows that that plugin wasn't actually loaded because I disabled it with this little startup trick. So definitely a useful thing that I think everybody who has a JTAG or RGH should know because it can be incredibly useful. So let's move on to number 2. Okay, I'm moving on to number 2. This is quite a small one. This is the fake live option inside dash launch. When you enable this, it basically tricks the Xbox into believing that it's connected to Xbox Live when it's actually not. The benefits of doing this are quite small. There's a few things that you can do with this. One is you can access menu options inside games that are normally locked off for Xbox Live only. So you would normally select it and it would say you must sign into Xbox Live to access this area of the game. You can access it with Fake Live. Now obviously you can't actually then go on Xbox Live and find games, but it's a handy little thing you can do to access anything that's locked off. And it can also be useful for those Xbox Live arcade games and indie games that are locked off to Xbox Live only. There's a few Xbox Live arcade games and indie games out there that allow you to play them on solo, but they require an Xbox Live connection anyway because they have maybe online leaderboards or something like that, and they won't allow you on the game unless you actually connect to Xbox Live. This can get around that by enabling Fake Live. It thinks it's on Xbox Live, therefore the arcade and indie game will think you're on Xbox Live and let you on, and then you can play it even when you're not actually connected to Xbox Live. I've heard there's another trick with Fake Live to do with getting voice chat to work in System Link for some Call of Duty games, where System Link voice chat is normally turned off, but if it thinks it's on Xbox Live, it turns it on, and that would be useful for playing online on Link so you can communicate with other people. So yeah, a few good uses for Fake Live. I personally haven't really used Fake Live that much myself, but I do know that it can be quite a useful feature. Okay, so let's move on to number 3. Okay, so number 3 is for you developers out there, the guys who are making RTE tools, or maybe you're making a mod menu or a trainer or something like that. And you need to find offsets, addresses in memory. Now, most developers do this by loading the XCX file of the game into a disassembler. Now, the problem with doing this is that you need to get the latest version of the XCX, the one that's on the latest title update. So what you normally have to do is a painstaking process of finding the right title update on xboxunity.net, because they're not labeled by language to match the version that you have. You need to download it, you need to put it in Horizon, extract the .xexp file, the patch file, extract that, and then you need to grab the normal default XCX from the console, put it on, put them in the same directory as XCX tool, and then you have to run XCX tool on it to update it. It's a slow process and quite annoying if you're just quickly wanting to update offsets or something like that. This is a much easier way. You don't have to use XCX tool, you don't have to download the title updates manually. You can do this offline or on Xbox Live. If you're going to do this on Xbox Live, it's really easy. What you want to do is just launch the game that you're wanting to get the XCX, the latest patched XCX for, launch the game, and it will automatically download the title update from Xbox Live. So go ahead and do that. If you're offline, then use Aurora, add the game into Aurora and download the title update with Aurora's title update manager, then launch it. Once the game has been launched, it's already applied the title update. Aurora applies the title update for you, Xbox Live does it automatically, and what that means is that the XEX that's currently running is already patched with the title update. So all you have to do is, in Xbox 360 neighborhood, there'll be a little partition, a drive showing up called active title, and in brackets it'll say game inside there in uppercase letters. And if you go into that directory, everything that's in that directory is from the current game that's currently running on the console. All you have to do is open up that directory, find the default .xex file or the default mp.xex file, drag and drop it to your desktop, and that version, that XEX, is already updated because it's what's currently running, and because it's currently running, it's already been patched with the title update. So much easier. You don't need to go ahead and use XEX tool, find the title update from Xbox Unity and extract the patch file. It's all done for you. Just drag and drop the XEX file from neighborhood to your computer, and it's already patched, ready to be disassembled, and you can update your offsets. So that's number 3. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, and moving on to number 4. Did you know that Freestyle Dash has its own web panel that you can access by use of the web browser? If you go onto Freestyle Dash and just note down your local IP address, making sure you're connected to your local area network, you can actually just type the IP address into your web browser and it will take you to Freestyle Dash's web UI. You can do a few different things in here. You can load up your games list for your 360 games, emulators, and even remotely launch the games from the web panel. Other than that, you can also take screenshots. If you go to Commands, Basic, Screenshots, this is a lot faster than screenshots through Neighborhood because it does it much faster. It does it in PNG format, which is compressed, whereas Neighborhood does it in, I think it's BMP or something that's uncompressed, and it takes a lot longer. And then you can just right click and save this image to your desktop, save it to your computer somewhere. So yeah, even debug information, you can get a debug log of Freestyle Dash, and even scan paths. It tells you all the different scan paths you have for all your games. And yeah, even shutting down the Xbox and restarting Freestyle Dash. So quite a few cool little things you can do inside this web panel. Okay, and for number 5, last one, another web panel for Zell Reloaded. This one's actually incredibly useful, and I have never used it before as well, so something I didn't know about until quite recently. Is that, again, you just type in your IP address of your console that shows up in Zell once Zell has fully loaded. It will give you your network config address. Again, just type that into the URL bar on your internet browser, and it will load up into Zell's own little web panel. Not much of a web panel, more of just some information, but incredibly useful information, because a lot of the time you want to get your CPU key off Zell. Well, there it is right there. You can just straight up copy and paste it into a text document. Same with your DVD key for your disk drive. Incredibly useful. Gives you links to where you can download other things that can be used within Zell, like raw flash for flashing your NAND. You can even shut down, reboot the console, startup log, give you a log of the Zell startup. And you can even download your fuses and your key vault, a raw version of your key vault right here as well, which completely works. So yeah, pretty damn awesome. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this little kind of mashup of a few different things that you may not have known about your JTAG or RGH console. If you did enjoy it, go ahead and leave it a like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, comment if you have any questions, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.
I'm shuffling.